Meeting to order, and we'll skip the roll call. Jenny called in and said she's got something, she's not going to be able to be here today, so we'll move on. I would like to ask Danny Ricker to come up and lead us in the invocation, and then Tim, what's your last name? Ward, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you, as always, God, for this day that you've given us, and we pray for wisdom and knowledge for our city leaders, God, as always about doing about your business. And God, just let us always remember to be thankful every day, not just in around Thanksgiving, but we are thankful for you and your power and your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
If you'll face the flag, I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Danny, before you go, come back up here, please. You're in deep, deep trouble. No, just very quickly, I wanted Danny to come up because he was just selected for the International Conference of Police Chaplains, and he is at the master level event. And can you tell us what all you've done to get through this? Come on up here and tell everybody.
That's 10 years of service, 240 some hours training.
And I don't know how many of y'all have been around when he's been out and helped, but he is unbelievable. During the floods, the work that he did, the food that he brought together, the support that he gave our emergency responders, the helps he does with our fires, both in the county and in the city, what he does with our police folks, it's incredible. I'm not sure he ever sleeps because it seems like I see him early in the morning and late at night and other times. And this is just his sideline. He's also involved at our Opportunity House and does a lot of work there also. So we are blessed beyond measure to have Danny Ricker be a part of our team. So let's give him a hand. I would imagine you've got at least a minute or two, or a word or two to say about this fellow.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, this one.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
No, it's amazing what the emergency scenes and everything. Tragedy, and that's, everybody knows that's kind of what we deal with, but we're okay.
Thing I can say about him, he never says no. The other day he was out with the fire department. I called him like 4 hours later, said, hey, we need some help. Okay, he gets there and he's like, you can tell he's moving a little bit slower than normal, but. Thank you.
He makes good hot chocolate too.
Oh, boy. Okay. Teamwork, right? Thank you, Danny. I really, really appreciate you. Couple other things. Chris, do you want to say something?
Danny's a remarkable human being. Not only assist you guys, but he's a very comes out to any paper crash we have, anytime. Oh, we're very fortunate.
Thank you. And one more time, are you the one that are writing all those tickets out there? Are you sure? Oh, okay. As far as roads go, Church Street and Old Shiloh and the Irwin Highway have been completed after 4 years and 4 years of discussion. So it's pretty exciting. I didn't realize that I would be just driving around up and down streets, being happy about having new asphalt to drive down, but I've started doing it. How about you, Tim? And then if you go up on Stratford, that's pretty cool too. So we've gotten a lot of good work done. So thanks to the Public Works Department and also to Summers and Taylor, because they got that done for us very quickly. We also had pickleball courts down behind Asbury Church that did the grand opening on today. That was all a project that was put together between the Rotary Club, Public Works, and Parks and Rec. It's a great addition to our downtown. Down there, living down there close by there, I hear people playing most every night. There's young folks that are down there, and pretty much everybody's younger than me, but most of them, there's a lot of them that are high school kids that are out and about, and we had a good turnout today, so thank you, Christina. I appreciate you getting that up. And if you know somebody that's in the Rotary Club, please tell them thank you, because it's nice to have folks that are giving back to our community. So we appreciate it. Well, there was something else. Oh, Shop Small Greenville's coming up. When is that, Jan?
29th, Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so a week from Saturday, go out and spend your money in Greenville. And then we got another football game this Friday night. It's I guess the regional. Anyway, it's third round. And what is that? Third round? Okay.
Anderson County's coming to town.
And will that put us into the finals?
Fourth round would be more than likely Alcoa has to come here.
Oh boy, good stuff going on. So let's cheer the Green Devils on. Is there anything for public comments? Okay. As far as unfinished business goes, consideration to approve the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. We had that sent out on Thursday of last week. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any questions, ideas, or suggestions? Hearing nothing, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. New business insurance update from McInturf, Milligan, and Brooks. John, can you come up and enlighten us? Rates are going down?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly.
I'm talking today specifically about the Roby Adult Center and the old Little Theater. That building itself has been on your policy. It went from replacement cost to actual cash value about a year ago. PEP did another inspection. PEP is the insurer that insures your property. And they have put the building on a stated amount of $200,000, which is a fraction of what it would take to rebuild that building. There's some things that I think we can do, hopefully over the next few months, that can at least get it back to actual cash value. And I think some of these things are already scheduled to happen. And I will say, Laura and Kathy and myself and Amanda at my office, we've been working with PEP on this for a while. So, but some things that need to happen is the, obviously remove the colony of bats and clean up the bat dung out of the attic area. And I think that's scheduled in about 30 days or so, or a little less.
December.
Mid-December. So, and then there was a leak in the bell tower on the Roby side, which also damaged a little bit in the Roby Center itself, in the workout area and in one of the offices. Can't get the roof repairs done until everything is cleaned up and somebody can go up there to to do that repair. As well as repairing the inside areas. And then, and I think they're in the process of this, there's a lot of wood downstairs in the woodworking area, and there's some pictures I can show you, but I mean, it would be difficult. I'd have a hard time walking out of that place. I mean, so they want that wood stored, preferably outside the building, but at least stored outside where there's a good egress in case something happens so that people can get out. So that was on the property report and the liability report for that building. And then it says for the theater, maintain on a regular basis the necessary repairs be made to prevent further deterioration of the building. So, and I think we're moving in that direction. I think if we get wood taken care of and some of the others and things on this list done, which I think are all scheduled, and then get I think also have scheduled maybe a cleanup for the side, and try to get that in a little better shape. We can at least get it back to actual cash value. But right now, and I just want to let you all know, due to the condition of the building, it's at $200,000 is what we have covered on that building, if something.
What's actual cash value mean?
They take replacement cost, and I'm going to, if replacement cost is, I don't know, $6 million, just then they would look at the age of the building and what's been done to it, and they'd say, okay, we're only covering that building for, $2.5 million. We're going to discount it. So we're not covering it to what it's going to cost to replace it. We're covering it for what it would actually be worth. It's kind of like the difference in your appraisal on your house and your how much you're insuring it for replacement cost on your insurance policy. Those numbers usually don't match up very well. Usually you have a lot more coverage on your house, on your insurance policy, than it's appraised for tax purposes.
How much did you say it was worth last year, or did you?
1.5,
I think they had
1.5 million.
So I think we can get it back up some, but I think 1.5 is a drop in the bucket on that building. So I think there needs to be some major, and part of it that's the issue is, even if we make the Roby side and do those things on the Roby side, that improves it tremendously, but there's no firewall. I mean, there's nothing stopping it from the theater side. So until something is done with the theater, I think we're going to have a hard time getting it covered for replacement costs for what we need to, because I was there for the inspection last week.
Week before
November
last.
the 4th.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. Didn't seem that long ago. But I mean, you can stand on that, on the side where the theater is and look at the wall that's in between them, and up at the top of the wall, you can see light coming through. I mean, there's nothing stopping it. There's nothing to stop a fire from going through there. I know it's downtown. I know the fire department's close. But happens at night, it may be a little while before somebody knows something's going on, particularly if it starts over in the little theater side.
And we did ask the question about insuring the theater separately from the rest of the Roby building. And because there's not a formal firewall in there to protect each side from the other, it's considered one building.
So, any questions? I mean, this was mostly an informational thing. I mean, I have to keep working on it till we can.
Well, and just as a point of information, from what I gather, cleanup today started at the Little Theater, and we are working to schedule a contractor to come in and just do the structural evaluation. So it's more data for us to have in terms of that, but all that will be included in the report that the committee was formed to do the evaluation. We'll have all that information in the report and share, hopefully, sooner now that the cleaning is taking place and we've got the structural engineer to come and do his evaluation, to give us just a better point of reference.
Okay. All right, anything else? Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, item 8.2 is review of the Town of Greenville preliminary audit report for fiscal year 2025. Laura?
Okay. So we have completed our audit. We've got some preliminary numbers from our auditors that won't be finalized until December. So since we're getting ready to start with our capital planning, and I just wanted to kind of get some of the financial information in front of the city council at this point in time. So I've got a couple of charts on here. The first one is where the money comes from. This is our revenue stream. Consistently, again, we've got about 66% of our revenue comes from our property tax and sales tax. Where the money goes, public safety is the largest. Sorry if you can't hear me. Public safety is the largest of our expenses, police and fire combined, followed by our contribution to the school system. The next chart is just by category. So the information on there I'd want to call out to you is that of our expenditures, 49% is salary and benefits, and then schools is 18%, and our debt service is 9%. 9% of what we spend every year. The very next slide, this is one that this chart's recommended by the Government Finance Officers Association to look at your expenditures as a total of our operating revenue. So when I talk about operating and expenditures and revenue, I'm excluding grants and capital projects and any bond proceeds that we have. So this is just strictly operating revenue. And you can see by the chart, there are, that's the way our expenditures pan out. The next two slides I want to talk to you, and if you have questions, I think this is probably where it's going to be. This is our fund balance, our unassigned. So this is our rainy day fund. And 2025 represents about 24.5% of our operating revenue. And currently our fund balance policy says 25 to 35. And so probably sometime in January, maybe as we approach the budget, that's something that we need to revisit. That's a great goal to have. I just think that's a thing of the past. I think we're gonna, we're gonna, I think because of all of the capital projects and a lot of the large ticket items that we're gonna have, we typically fund through fund balance or part of that, or maybe larger grant matches we fund through our fund balance. We've just got a lot of work to do, and I think it's gonna take us a little bit to build that back up. I will tell you as a point of reference that the comptroller's office requires 16%. And so even going from 25 to 35 and setting that fund balance policy from 20 to 25, we're still a good 4 or 5% higher than what the comptroller's office requires for us to have. And of course, the 2021, 22s, that was when we had all the stimulus money. That's post-COVID. Everybody was ready to get out of the house and spend. And so what we're finding is that peaked. And so even on revenues, we're starting to go back to pre-COVID growth on that. Then the next slide talks about our changes in fund balance. Again, those 3 years, we had a lot of money coming in, so we were able to do a lot of good things. In those years, the major capital project, the big ticket that we had was the Fire Station number 2, and that was $4.4 million, and that paid for the new fire station completely. We didn't have to use any general fund or taxpayer money, and that money was no local match. And then last thing, just a couple of notes here. We have year 6, we have no audit findings for the town landfill and library, as well as the airport, but town funds the town landfill and library. So we have no audit findings. We are in perfect compliance with our federal and state grants. And then a couple things we did this year. We just completed the pickleball court, as we mentioned. We have the cupola we finished in 2025, and we have now finished all of the painting and restoration on the outside at Town Hall. So that was on our priorities list, and that's already completed in 26. And then toward the end of FY25, we purchased the Green Technology Center. Any questions or anything about that? One thing I will follow up with is in 2025, our property tax collection rate was 96%. It's been that way since 2020. We've hovered around 95 or 96, which is really good. A lot of places, a lot of entities are 91 or 92. It's considered excellent. We're above that. State Street Aid Fund, we have a cash balance in there, and so Scott Keith and I have talked about, we get about $500,000 in State Street Aid funding every year, and so he intends to utilize that money that's in there to pay for that. In 2025, we paid for the traffic signal on Sarah Drive from that money as well. The library was pretty much break even. The landfill is a proprietary fund, which means it has to operate as self-sufficient with no taxpayer money, and they, as usual, they have an excess that goes toward their capital projects, and now we're looking like expansion of the landfill. So that was about $600,000, and then solid waste broke even as well. Questions or anything about the audit?
Purchase of the technology center and the improvements of town hall and pickleball course, is it all paid for now in this report?
We did it. We did the $100,000 to do all the refurbishing was this year.
Is there any money left in Depot Street project?
There is. We have about $425,000 to $450,000 of bond money we need to spend. We have taken about $85,000 of that for the ADA signals that you all have already approved. Those are on order. Logan, we've already issued the purchase order about that. The mayor asked me earlier today. And then the rest of that money is available for anything else we need to do on Depot. So Um,
Pedestrian walkway and sidewalk to address
Yes.
sidewalk slope.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The town hall pay was done this year, 26, right?
The cupola was done in 25.
Yeah,
The rest of it was done in 26. They
Okay.
started after July 1st. And they did an excellent job.
yes. Town hall looks great.
Yes.
Okay,
Questions?
I don't have, that's all I've got. Anybody else? Thank you.
Welcome.
So item 8.3 is review of the fiscal year 2026 first quarter financial report.
Yes. So this time of year, I do always expect our expenditures to exceed revenues because property tax collection doesn't start till October 1st. But we did have about $68,620 more in local option sales tax than we did a year ago. And state shared sales tax is relatively flat. It's about $9,000 more than we had a year ago. And then there, on the first page, there's a list of what we've paid for in that first quarter for capital purchases. And then I'm going to skip all the way back to the charts, the graphs where we usually look at some of the big ticket items. Thank you, Christina. The first one is local option sales tax, and because we've only got 3 months, that looks a little funny. I expect that to kind of level off here shortly. But I was having this conversation with the mayor earlier today and mentioned it to Kathy. Our local option sales tax, this year for the budget, the school's finance director and I recognize that that money comes back to us whole. So our 2.75% on our sales tax comes back to us in its entirety. State shared, there's a formula and it's a little bit different. But our local option sales tax, so people are shopping here. So that growth on that revenue stream is higher than the growth on the local sales tax. Some years it's about the same, but into last fiscal year and this fiscal year, it's starting out looking like it's a lot more than it has been in the last several years. So we'll just watch it and see. Usually economically, things kind of calm down when you don't have a federal election year. So we'll see. And these revenues run 2 months behind. So this was September, so that's July's.
Why do you think that one is so much higher than it was from the last 2 years?
People are just out spending money. They're
They're
comfortable.
staying here instead of traveling?
Mm-hmm. If you drive by the Commons on any given day recently, it's full. Just that one section right there, the parking lots are full. So we have people shopping here. Of course, we've got a lot of traffic that, comes downtown as well, but the main reason, the difference again, like I said, is that 2.75%, that is based on where the items are purchased.
Buy local. Don't just shop local, buy local.
And then on the next one, you'll see state sales tax, it's in line with where it has been for the last several years. So I didn't expect a large change on that one. And our alcohol taxes are about the same. They're actually relatively flat as well on the wholesale beer tax, the mixed drink tax, and the liquor tax. Questions about anything?
So we're about where we budgeted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
The no audit findings is incredible. And it needs to
Thank you. We appreciate, I speak for everybody when we say we appreciate your support on spending and approval, but it's department heads, it's my staff, it's everybody.
incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item 8.4 is consideration to approve $3,000 in additional funding to Second Harvest Food Bank for food distribution. Do you want to cover that? You want me
It
to?
doesn't matter, I will.
Go ahead.
So I had, during the food distribution that took place on November 5th, I had reached out to see if the city would like to contribute to that. Of course, we need to put that in front of you all in an official meeting, so I'm asking if, with that food distribution, that we can put money back, additional money for Second Harvest Food Bank with their helps in those efforts for the SNAP recipients at that point in time. And just in case there's a delay in individuals receiving their SNAP benefits, we might have to do another food distribution at some point, or we might need to help restock the food that Second Harvest Food Bank distributed. So I'm asking your consideration to approve an additional $3,000. We give an annual allocation to Second Harvest Food Bank in the amount of $2,500. And we've already given them their allotment for this year, so this would just be in addition to that.
Eddie, how many people came through there about?
986 families.
Okay. The need is, and just the county put in 20, up to 20.
And that was approved last night at their county commission meeting. I talked with folks from Mayor Morrison's office this morning, and they did approve the additional $20,000 for them last night.
And Mr. Nusswonger matched it with 20,000, so we're trying to help offset that.
Yes. Yes, it is, yes.
Well, no, it was 17 and 3 and 20.
Right.
Okay,
So,
but that's already done because county gave 20.
right, well, they actually gave their annual allocation that they give, and then they were asking last night, county commission, to approve the additional,
Okay.
so.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8.5 is discussion and consideration of sidewalk slope options for Depot Street.
So in September, I think it was in late September, early October, I came before you all to ask if you all would like to address the sidewalk slope concerns on Depot Street. And we met down on Depot Street before one of the city council meetings, and we looked at one option. One option is the leaning rails that are shown up on the screen right now, and it was proposed to go with 14 of those at the cost of $24.50 each. And then it was suggested to maybe purchase an additional 2. With that, that would range anywhere with between 14 and 16, $34,000 to $39,000. Then it was asked to get some feedback from property owners on Depot, and there was some mixed emotions about those leaning rails, and there was some positives, but there were more concerns about those and the placements of those with ingress, egress into people's buildings, moving furniture, who was going to maintain it and clean it, and they asked for other options to be addressed. And so then I brought back before you all another option per our insurance carrier, who suggested that to remedy the situation, a change of color or a change of material could be suggested. And so I've got an updated pricing list here in front of you that addresses, we could go with the option of staining the concrete anywhere there's a slope section on Depot, which totals the whole area, which is 5,485 square feet, for the total cost of $35,652.50. The reason for doing all of that section, all of the sloped areas, regardless if they're 7% or higher, is just for uniformity. The other option, which is a change in color, other option would be a change in material, and one suggestion was to put the tactile warning mats, which you often see at intersections and crosswalks. That one was just suggested because of to put those only in the locations where the grade is 7% or more, which would be totaling about 430 square feet. giving you a grand total cost to do that in those areas at $20,640. So we have three options to choose from. You all did approve a couple weeks ago the design of the leaning rails, but then after feedback from the property owners, it was suggested to go maybe a different option with the staining of the concrete or these detectable warning pads. So wanted to see your some thoughts on that, your discussion on how you feel about any of those three options. Would you like to try something different? But the recommendation from Public Entity Partners is to either change the color or change the material, or they suggested also that potential leaning rail.
I was down in Fort Myers, Florida last 2 weeks ago, and their sidewalks have the same issue. And they had the flat part and then the slope, and they had a different colored side sloped portion. So that was the way that they had done it.
Did PEP mention colors? I mean, does it have to be, could it be brown or something instead of a bright yellow?
Oh, yeah, for
They don't care.
For the concrete, the options that were presented to me were that Cliff Brooks had presented to you all back in right when the grand opening happened on Depot. And it's the color that's on Depot Street in certain sections now. It's kind of the rustic brown. So that would be the color option that he suggested a few years ago as an option to do that. As far as the detectable warning mats, you do have options on Depot right now on the, why can I not think of the tabletop section. There is some of those black tactical warnings there, so black would be an option. They do make that in a rustic kind of red-brown, and then, of course, they do make it at the bright yellows.
A lot like patchwork if we do just the 7% slope. So
Right.
I would lean more toward staining the whole concrete. Did you happen to get a price about Main Street back also?
No, I have not got that back yet.
I think,
That's a
yeah,
different discussion.
well, but I think that they had an issue with that, putting that down the first time, and they were supposed to be repainting it.
Okay.
So I'll reach out to them and find out about that. And that might be, I think that's the same color. So
I think that would be
tie it all together.
Just everything I've heard, people didn't want the leaning rails for one reason or another, and upkeep of them, trash everywhere. I mean, and it probably would be.
And just to keep in mind with the staining of the concrete, this would be a maintenance issue that we would have to address. And I did talk to them, we brought this up in a department head meeting, and Scott, you can speak to this if you'd like, but I asked to see if that, the sidewalks were ever sealed, because I know that Public Works has purchased sealant, and we've been holding out because you need to wait a good 2 years for it to cure. And they actually, Cassie with JMT responded back and said Summers Taylor did a curing compound back then, but no sealant has been added. So we're good there as far as, because they question, can we apply this stained concrete already on sealed sidewalks? But they've only put a curing compound. There's no, to her knowledge, there's been no sealant added at this point in time. So it shouldn't be an issue to properly clean that area and stain those slope sections.
With whatever color is decided upon for this, are we looking at trying to make that consistent for all future sidewalk projects like on Main Street? And, because to Tim's point, you don't want to put the mats down for the sake of it looking like patchwork, but you also don't want, the color wheel all over our downtown addressing the same issue. So I think maybe a few more, some uniformity, but I think a little discussion. This is an opportunity for us to be a little proactive, I think, in identifying a color that we like that fits, the vision for the rest of downtown if this is what we want to go with.
It's all right setting that, but I think we'll never run into that again because we were trying to match floor elevations on different sides with different floors.
Right.
But our replacement of sidewalks coming up Main Street should not have that problem.
Right. You just never know.
I mean,
Just,
there's
yeah.
no problem setting that as
Yeah.
a priority or for future
Right.
programs.
Right.
You can put that under your new management system that you're putting into Public Works, so we'll be able to call that number up, right?
I think it'd look all right just to go with the same stain as the intersections that we did, to me, if PEP allows that, and you say they
Yep,
do.
they,
so-
that was the two that Cliff had suggested all along when this was discussed years ago. And so he provided that color, which goes along that same scheme as of what is already down there. And, I mean, there's other color options that you can choose from, but that was just the ones that he had made the recommendation to.
And Laura, this would come out of our bond fund that we have for depot. I'll make the motion, we go ahead with the staining of the concrete.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, folks. Item 8.6 is consideration of a resolution for the town of Greenville to apply, accept, administer, and amend the Tennessee America 250 grant. Hello, Christina.
Hello. Well, I don't remember if it was the last meeting or 2 meetings ago, but I came up and asked with Tim Massey if we could have a partnership with the Greene County Heritage Trust to work on the Old Harmony Cemetery project. So this grant can help us, hopefully, to work on that project. So the grant that we are hoping to apply for is a Tennessee America 250 grant. It's up to the amount of $25,000. This is the community support grant, and they actually encourage partnerships on this one. So this looks like a great option for us. There's no match.
You've got me there.
I knew that'd get you.
Yeah.
Knew that'd get
Okay,
you,
we
Tim.
have
I
a
make
motion.
yes. To
A
approve.
second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 8.7 is consideration of a resolution authorizing the town to participate in the Public Entity Partners Cybersecurity Partners Matching Grant Program.
It's wordy.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks, Christina, with your no local match, because mine has one. So this one is we have several public entity partner grant opportunities that we apply for each year, and this is the last one for this year that we can apply for. And it's cybersecurity, and been working with Matt back there on what we could apply for, and we're going to add some, hopefully with your approval, this is a $2,000 grant with a $2,000 match, and this is going to help offset some of the costs to upgrade or advance our Microsoft, just to add extra cybersecurity measures that I think is much needed for all of our users for town employees. And this is something that the city schools is already using, and it's been working out quite well for them. So I think this would be an added protection that is needed.
What would the total cost be of upgrading?
So the total cost for all of our users, it's $19,759.52 per year. But per employee with this added addition ends up being $270 per user. But there is money in the IT budget to offset the additional costs. And this was one thing that was kind of already in the works anyway as a planned measure for extra cybersecurity for the
Well, it's
town.
just spending $2,000 to
Oh,
get
yeah.
$2,000
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion, we approve.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8.8 is consideration of the purchase of two hydraulic cylinders to repair solid waste front-load truck. Hello, Mr. Keith.
Appreciate the time this afternoon. Yeah, this was a emergency/urgent purchase of two packing cylinders for one of the front loads. They both were leaking hydraulic oil severely. Mechanics determined that they were not anything that could be rebuilt. So the purchase is about $16,513 for both the cylinders and the pins and the kit to install it. It is on a Sourcewell. It's a New Way product. The dealer for New Way is Municipal Equipment, but the actual part itself is on a Sourcewell contract. So it was, at least that was, but we really feel we need to get the truck repaired and get it in service before the holidays.
Okay, we have a recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
And this would come out of our repair budget, so it's not like it's budget.
I'll make that motion.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8.9 is consideration to approve the purchase of security cameras for the Roby Adult Center. Nicole?
Good afternoon. So we applied for the PEP grant, for the property conservation grant, and thankfully we received that grant. And we are in the need to purchase some security cameras for the inside of the Roby. And we have been awarded $4,000, and then we have a match of $4,000. The overall total comes to $10,244, and it has been budgeted.
And that's being purchased through one of our cooperatives.
State contract, yeah. I've been working with Matt on that, with Central Technologies.
Make a motion we approve.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. That's all we have for today. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in firm, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. You want to check on him? Jimmy might not be able to be there tomorrow.
Don't bring it to you, and I thought, well, she will. Okay, I'll come back. I knew I'd come back, yeah. I figured she'll struggle for a little bit.